Dr. Krani, you also want patients to live in the present moment. How can this help in the weight loss management?
During the weight loss program, during the first consultation and subsequent visits, we really enforce and explain patients very sincerely that live in the present moment. There are so much benefit of living that way. We discussed earlier about the mind, how it functions, how it traps us back into the time, past and future, and how we start suffering because of the thinking about the past and worrying about future. So there are what happens when you live in the present moment. But for that you have to understand why we have to live in the present moment. First, understand this that this present moment is the only moment that you have in life right now, that you have access to experience anything in your life, whether happiness, unhappiness, or anything. So you have to value this moment because only thing you have right now is the present moment. Understand this that universe exists only at this time. Right now, let's see, look at the time, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. So 10 a.m. in the morning does not exist anymore. Neither the 6 p.m. does not exist. Universe exists only at this moment. You are here in this moment. And if your mind goes in the past or future, but there is nothing. It literally does not exist there. Sometimes I go back to India and I realize that I go to the city where I grew up and I literally feel and realize that there is nothing like past because the whole city is changed totally. There is no same streets, no same houses, nothing. I don't see any people that I knew. So now in my memory it's very clear everything, but it's only in my memory that I see that what I had a past. But past really does not exist because whatever you call it past, it was present moment only. It was never past. Same thing what you call future moments, it will come to you only as a present moment and otherwise it cannot come. And as soon as it comes, it becomes past. So it's really a very fast cycle that we go through it and we think that is really happening, but it's not. It is what it is now. So you have to understand that this is the only moment in your life that you have. Now to understand and to make you understand better, let me ask you this question. And I ask these questions to everyone that I see. So take your time. Right now you are sitting in this chair. At this moment, when I'm asking you questions, do you have any kind of problem right now? Any kind of problem? You don't. See, you're saying you don't. But what happens? As soon as I leave this room, your mind will start thinking because you're alone. And as soon as mind start thinking, it will automatically take you either past or future because your mind is thinking. Understand that very well that thinking mind means it's not here. Thinking mind takes you past or future. And as soon as your thinking mind takes you in the past or future, you start seeing images. We discussed that already, that as soon as you start thinking of something or you don't want to think of something, you're creating images. So now you think about past that something happened to you and caused problems, so you start thinking about that. Or you may start thinking about future that may happen to you that hasn't happened. So either you're bringing past problems or future worries. And as soon as you start saying it, body thinks it's happening it right now, and secret stress hormones and endotoxins, and that suppresses your immunity, takes away your sleep. You can't enjoy this moment. You are really fine right now, very happy enjoying this moment, and in a matter of seconds you are suffering. So that suffering is really true suffering or created by your mind? Naturally created by your mind. So who allowed this to happen? You, because you did not control the mind. Understand that mind is not you. You can control your mind. So stop thinking going into past and future. So understand that mind has two more of function. One is a thinking mode that we don't want, and action mode. So what is action mode? That means that mind is busy whatever is happening right now with that action. And that will also help you to understand that how do we live in the present moment, and how can I stop my suffering for good. Actually, that's our goal, isn't it? To get rid of all the sufferings. So where the suffering coming from? From our thinking mind. Obviously, we just discussed that as soon as your mind starts thinking, you're creating suffering. That I have this exam today, I have to pass this test, I'm not prepared. So you're looking at the past, future, and you're creating worries. But if you're just studying right now, without worrying about that your exam at 5 o'clock, you're fine. Because each moment will take you to the right place. So how do you live in the present moment? Understand this, that your body is always in the present moment. It cannot fly into the past or future. Correct? Now, if it is in the present moment, then try to anchor with your body. Then naturally your mind, if it's anchored and embraced with the physical body together as a one unit, then you are in the present moment. So what do? There are certain tips that we give to the patients. One is feel your body from head to toes with your mind. So mind is literally touching inside of your body from head to toes. And when you do that process about every half an hour, you are actually stopping going into past or future for at least few seconds. You're coming back to the moment. Then watch your breathing. Count your breathing. As soon as you count 5 or 10 times, your mind calms down because it's not thinking. Mind is watching your breathing right now, and breathing is happening at this moment, so your mind has to stop thinking. Then other things you can do is understanding that your body in the present moment using 5 senses. We call 5 special senses. What are those special senses? Hearing, seeing with the eyes, touching, smelling, and tasting the foods. During this current moment in the present, when body is using, always make sure that mind is busy with these senses. If you're washing your hands, feel the water. Literally consciously feel the water. Smell the soap. When you're walking anywhere in the corridor or anything, feel the moment of the body with you. So you feel it's like a touching. So it's a touch sensation. You're actually really being present. Then when you're eating food, taste the food, smell the food. Right now you're not thinking because you are busy listening to me, looking at me. That's why your mind is busy. But in between, while you are listening to me and looking at me, your mind starts thinking again. But that thinking is only for practical purpose. For example, your mind is thinking to understand what I'm saying, analyzing it, whether it makes sense or not. Sometimes you want to make sure that the words that you're coming out is correctly coming out or not, and you're understanding it or not. So for that purpose, you're using past to understand my language, my word, and to relate with your story. You're using past. You may be also using for future, that how can I use for myself, how it can implement it, how can it change my life, how can I stop my suffering, how can I reach my goal. So also at that time using your mind. You're also thinking that how can I memorize whatever I'm saying to you. So that way mind is using for thinking purpose. But mostly you are busy listening to me and looking at me. So that's why you're here in the present moment. In present moment, people never have suffering. Nobody on the earth, if they are in the present moment, they do not have any suffering except they have physical pain. But they have, as soon as they go about past or future problem, then they have problem right away. So naturally, we also want to understand how do we fix our problem for future then. Very simple thing. you are in this point at this life and you have certain goals to fix it, and the goal is here. You live in the present moment, understand the goal, that this is your goal, but do not live at the goal. This is the journey, and real journey is happening in each step. This journey is not happening here all the way here in the moment. In the moment, each step is the real true journey, where you're feeling your life, you're feeling alive, you are in the state of being, and that's you want to keep feeling. And then as soon as your mind is busy seeing it, you will reach to your goal because you already know you're on the right path. And that's the way you keep doing it.